Well, good afternoon and welcome to Match of the Day live from Anfield for the Today League Division 1 game between Liverpool and Chelsea. And it's a game of contrast, if ever there was one. Liverpool, the epitome of stability, grind on in search of their 17th league championship. Whereas Chelsea, whose history is embroidered with comedy and errors, are not without success. The league championship in 1954-5 under Ted Drake, FA Cup winners in 1970 under Dave Sexton, and the following year European Cup winners by beating Real Madrid in the final. But mostly the Stamford Bridge story has been one of what might have been. After a splendid season last time round, someone seems to have pressed the self-destruct button and Chelsea are now bottom of the table. Some so-called supporters of the club seem determined to crucify yet another manager, be it an extremely decent one, John Hollins. Well, that's the emotional scene that John and his team are under as they face Kenny Dalglish's Liverpool machine. Historically and traditionally unlikely to show the slightest sympathy to their opponents in their hour of need. On the contrary, they would look upon it as a heaven-sent opportunity to dispatch them quickly and clinically. Sometimes, though, on the field, things don't always turn out as expected. Do you think that's possible this afternoon, Trevor?
Well, I think it might turn out as expected. It's a very, very difficult game for John Hollins, really, in the circumstances. Away from home, though, Chelsea have done quite well. They've won at Man United and Spurs, two good results, and so they've got nothing to lose today because nobody expects them to get anything, really.
Does this emotional strain really make it that much more difficult for a team to win?
I think what the problem is from players' point of view is lack of confidence. I mean, the side today, quite a lot of the lads were up towards the top of the table last year, but at the moment they're lacking in confidence. It's not the best of places to get it back. And of course today I think Kerry Dixon and Pat Nevin are missing with injuries, and that's a problem as well. But you know, they've got the lad Gordon Jury. I'll be interested to watch him. He's up front with David Speedy today, and I haven't really had a chance to see him since they got him from Scotland, so I'll look forward to watching him.
I haven't either. I can tell you that he won the London Footballers' Golf Championship off a handicap of 22, but he's got to be +2 at least out there. Anyway, we shall see. Well, just a couple of results for you from this morning. In the Today League Division 1, Leicester 2, Oxford 0. Division 3, Swindon 1, Bristol City 2. And the World Club Championship, River Plate 1, Steaua Bucharest 0. Well, let's now join the Anfield throng, Bobby Charlton and match commentator Barry Davies.
Well, the temperature is very different from Liverpool's last match, which was in the Gulf, playing in the Dubai Super Cup, in which they beat Celtic. But their team is precisely the same as played on that occasion, which means that Barry Venison is included and Jan Molby has not recovered from his hamstring injury. The player missing from the last league match, when Liverpool were beaten by Watford, is John Walk. Kenny Dalglish is the substitute. Well, Chelsea would be happy to have sunshine from anywhere at the moment. And John Hollins, as Trevor Brooking has just said, has lost Kerry Dixon and Pat Nevin, an ankle and a groin strain respectively. And indeed, there are 5 changes from the team which conceded 4 goals at home to Wimbledon last Saturday week, I suppose we have to say. Included in midfield, Jerry Murphy at number 11, and Kevin McAllister gets the role that would have been played by Pat Nevin. Chelsea in blue, Liverpool, of course, in red. And it's going to be Gordon Jury who will get his first touch when referee Keith Hackett of Sheffield sets the game in motion. Keith Hackett refereeing his 3rd game of the weekend. In fact, the first was an under-11 match on Saturday morning, then a local league match yesterday afternoon, and now he's at Anfield. He has no intention of going early. Spackman and Dagruvi. They'll be hoping to play better passes than that one. Dublin. As you may well have read, Robillard into the act, as you may well have read, it's 51 years since Chelsea was successful on this ground back in 1935. Also in December. That's a league competition. They have won here in the Cup since, rather more recently in 1966, when John Hollins, the manager, was one of the players. David Speedy, Barry Venison, wearing 10 but playing at right back. the close season from Sunderland. Actually, it was a little bit of a do-it-yourself transfer. He wrote around to all the First Division clubs, reminding them that he was available. Nickel. And the first touch for Eddie Nijveski. Speedy up in front of Hansen. Not a bad try. Plenty of support for Chelsea, as you would have seen from the blue woolly hats. Joe McLaughlin, who missed last week because he had influenza. Showing the determination from Speedy. That's Gordon Jury. Just a bit too long, but a nice idea from Jim Beglin. Saw the gap quickly, but the pass a bit too long for Steve McMahon. For Mark Lawrenson, as I'm sure you would have observed, playing in midfield, such a versatile player. Gillespie and Hansen, the partnership at the back. And the free kick was for the foul by Benison. It's a rather curious challenge, one has to say. He was well away from the ball in terms of trying to make the clearance. And the injured player is Jerry Murphy. Pat Nevin and Kerry Dixon on the bench there. Look again at the challenge. Well, I mean, you have to say that he was not in line with the ball. His right foot was in direct contact with the ankle and missing the ball by several inches. And Barry Benison, he would know what he was trying to do, but don't think Jerry Murphy would have appreciated it. Anyway, a comment from Bobby Charlton.
Yeah, actually it was a bit of a late tackle and he'll have a sore ankle, the lad, but Chelsea really, considering the position that they've got in the league at the moment and all the embarrassments that they've had, seem to be competing quite well. I mean, anyone that plays at Liverpool, one thing that you've got to do if you're going to win is you have to compete. And certainly they don't look a depressed outfit to me over the first few minutes we've had to see them.
Colin Pates, who took the free kick. And Murphy immediately in the action, although by no means 100% yet. Out by Gillespie. Ronnie Whelan, nice change. What a good ball. Well watched by Pates. Speedy. I noticed that a lot of words have been written about this being John Hollins' trial by television. But if managers were judged on getting successes away from home at Anfield, there would be quite an enormous turnaround of them, I would think. Here's McAllister. The gap's there, but the shot really wasn't. Whelan. McMahon to the left. Rush in the box is offside, and is given so. All three officials today come from Yorkshire. The linesman, Markham Sykes, who comes from Brentford. He's the linesman on the far side who just gave that verdict. Oh, I knew we were talking about him. And the other linesman is Bob Turner, comes from Skipton. Hansen. Dublin should cut that out and does. The donkey in midfield was Speedy. Chelsea playing with three up, which is good to see. Jury, Speedy and McAllister, who is on the right side at the moment. Walsh playing with his left wrist still strapped. He broke it on returning after his other injury. Whelan. Pates. And I should report that Jerry Murphy seems to have made a full recovery. Walsh. Lawrenson. Challenge by Whelan and Smackman. Pleasant sunshine, but the temperature's not too much above freezing, I wouldn't think. Don't display, foot up. Gillespie is starting to go forward on the right side, where Nicol already is. Rush and Walsh, the two in the middle. The other two on the far side. Whelan takes. Lawrenson's found some space. Well played out by Murphy, nicely done by Chelsea. Jury, if it's played early, is unmarked in the middle. Speedy couldn't do it. It was a bit tough on Gordon Jury because he'd certainly found where the gap was, but it needed the first time ball from Speedy, which is very easy to play from the back of the stand or even high up on a television gantry. Murphy. McAllister. Same amount of push and shove between Hansen and John Bumstead. Venison. Rush. Gets slightly gingerly to his feet, Ian Rush. Trying to get out of a rather barren spell, actually. He hasn't scored for 5 games, or 6 if you include the match in Dubai. Venison, first time shot. Cut out by Pates. And a bit of an argument going on, it would seem, between Pates and Dublin as to how Venison had so much room on that right side from Liverpool's viewpoint. The Chelsea left, which should have been Dublin's, presumably. Had 10 minutes of the contest. Gillespie. Great climb by Speedy. Whether Nijveski would have got across, I'm not sure, but Speedy certainly cleared it well. Well watched by McLaughlin. Speedy. Oh no. Walsh. The challenge by Bumstead. But the Liverpool pressure increasing. Five now in the box for Liverpool. Nicol. And Bumstead, who was put completely off balance by Ronnie Whelan, in the end had a simple tap out. Lawrenson on the near post. Rugby got it away. Spackman, Murphy. Nicol on the right. Too strong for Venison. Jerry and Hansen. Spackman, there was a bit of a push by Lawrence, which I think he got away with. Murphy. McAllister, nice little turn. Spackman. Rather a shame for Chelsea, the two defenders contrived to lose the momentum. Won by Jury. Won the last two in the air. McAllister is having quite a lively start. Speedy. Oh, that's a poor clearance by Nicol. Murphy. And they're all looking at Steve Nicol for a very unlike Liverpool piece of defending. I can only assume that nobody shouted to him, but he just put a header to the edge of the 18-yard area and no more. And there Jerry Murphy was waiting, but couldn't keep the ball down. Hardly any wind, incidentally. Offside, Gordon Jury. Playing only his sixth game for Chelsea. Scored in the last one against Newcastle, but his team lost. Kenny Dalglish, who stood up. Seemed to hang a little bit, but there's no obvious reason why it should do so. Sitting next to his chairman. Hollins with hand on chin. Lawrenson. The play can find some 15-20 yards either side of the halfway line. Now it opened it up again. Rush. We've had the opening quarter of an hour. Really not too much to suggest, Bobby Charlton, that these two teams are at opposite ends of the table.
No, it just shows you there's no great divide between top and bottom in our first division. It's a good thing for the public to see, because it just shows you that the thin line that teams like Manchester United are in a seemingly false position, like Chelsea. But a very fascinating contest at the moment. I think that Nigel Spackman, one of the most influential players at Chelsea, is having a particularly good game and winning a lot of the 50-50 balls in midfield.
There's David Speedy. Rush. And the challenge was late. And the referee had quick words, and Rush not making a fuss about it. Alan Hansen. It's out. Murphy. Just too long again. The second time there's been a space in that inside left position. Jury stays down. Seemed to get a knock around the temple. Murphy covered it well. And I must say, young Dublin was looking for him to do precisely that. It's Vesky trying to put the ball out of play, I think. Remembering the injury to their centre-forward when these two sides met in the FA Cup last season, in which Kerry Dixon hasn't really fully recovered his form yet. The Chelsea supporters are rather keen that Mr Hackett should call for some attention to Gordon Durie, which in the end he has to do. This is how it happened. Yes, it was head against head, right on the temple. Benison was the Liverpool player, but unlike the earlier challenge that he made on Murphy, that was quite inadvertent. Not too much sympathy coming from the top end.
That's just one of those industrial injuries that forwards get, I'm afraid, and the new lad that's come down from Scotland, a very painful experience for him. But there again, you know, I think that he's been quite impressive in the first, Gordon Durie, in the first 15 minutes of this match. He's given them certainly something to think about at the back.
Beglin. Bates. Kick to Chelsea. Speedy wanting to get on with it, but the whistle had gone. It's worth noting that attack was born of the length of clearance by Davies Vesky. Spackman, Murphy and Jury on the ball. Rugby makes the run right to left. Speedy tries to get up. Well cleared by Lawrenson and then by Beglin. No space for Pates and for Dublin if he needs him. And the ball forced him to go back there rather than onto it. Bumstead, Spackman, Speedy, McAllister, Rugby outside, everybody else the other way. Murphy, good try and a good save. And a bit of dip on that, and a bit of swerve too. Good striker of the ball on his left side. And well turned over. And the man who produced the corner takes it. Or at least forced the goalkeeper to produce the corner, takes it. Robillard. Oh, a bit of a punch down. Jury. Too much. Interesting that there have been a number of occasions when Liverpool have overhit the passes so far in this match. But that is when they are at their most dangerous, when they seem to be under pressure and suddenly they break and the cover is not there from the opposition. Oh yes, he's on. This is a real opportunity. Grobbelaar to meet him. Gary Gillespie got back to deny him. But maybe McAllister wanted too many touches. Waited too long. Good challenge slide in by Gillespie. McAllister. Well, they're queuing up. And the free kick is given Liverpool's way. And Bobby Charlton, when you get a chance like that, you have to really make up your mind when you're going to let it go, don't you? Did he?
Yes, actually, I thought that the lad thought that he was offside, but he was really very direct, went straight to the post, but good covering by the Liverpool defence. But it's the type of situation where he has to make his mind up quite quickly, where he's going to go, which foot he's going to hit it with. And by the time he made up his mind, unfortunately, the chance was gone. But it was a terrific opportunity for him, and I think that Chelsea have been playing really quite good, constructive and intelligent football, and the crosses that have been coming in have been finding some of the Liverpool players wanting. Even though people like Gillespie and Hansen do have the height advantage, they haven't been shown it at this particular time. No, Chelsea have been quite well pleased with the first period of this match. They've done very well.
Murphy. No problems this time for Grobbelaar, but our statistician has worked out that Chelsea, in coming up to 25 minutes gone, have had 6 opportunities on his goal, whereas Liverpool have not really created one on Eddie Niedzwiecki's. As has been said on just a few occasions, it's a funny game, football. This had been played on the Saturday, you'd have said it was an absolute home banker, but not proving to be so at the moment. McMahon, Nicol coming across. Lawrenson, Gillespie to his right. Rush. Still on it a bit. Whelan. And the chances now stand at 6-1. Jerry. Lawrenson. Walsh. Twinkletoes. Whelan. McMahon. The ball was a bit too close to him. It's a nice footwork from Paul Walsh. He was getting a lot of plaudits from managers watching out in Dubai, among them people like Dave Mackay and Joe Kinnear. Walsh again. Murphy to him. Pates didn't buy the dummy. Handball. Right in front of Keith Hackett's. Chelsea have taken just 4 points from the last 21 available. They've had some good results away from home in terms of the prize of scalp. They won at Tottenham, and they won at Manchester United. Indication of Rush's industry. Walsh on the near edge of the area. Rush just left of the penalty spot. Nicol in possession, but he's not too sure about it. Goal kick. Oh, Keith Hackett, so close. He was really eavesdropping. Good distance this time. Unkind bounce on Pates. Charlton gets a foot in, but he's not finding life too easy. Here's Nicol on this side. Didn't make it, never looked like doing so. Free kick against McLaughlin. Foul challenge on Rush. And this free kick coming right on the half-hour point. 0-0 the score. Four marking three to the right of the wall as we look. Rush is the nearest, then Walsh, then Lawrenson, then Gillespie. Oh yes, Ronnie Whelan! What a well taken free kick. Nijveski was way over the other side and came back to get to the ball which had gone over the wall. He was in the right place. I'm not just suggesting that he wasn't, but he had so much ground to cover, and Liverpool had the lead.
terrific free kick. It just shows all the Continentals are not the only ones that can take good, skillful free kicks like that. And a beautiful free kick by Ronnie Whelan gives Liverpool the lead. Now a trial of strength for Chelsea, see what they're made of.
Rugby up in the area. That's his third goal of the season, Ronnie Whelan. But that sort of strike, one remembers one which wasn't from a free kick, but which came back to him, which won the Milk Cup. I'm sure that Jimmy Hill enjoyed the quality of his right foot. Offside against Whelan. Speedy, away by Hansen. Lawrenson. Murphy. Speedy. Spackman. Scotland. The tackle. These are testing moments for Chelsea. Suddenly, after doing so much, it could all run away from them. Nickel. Rush. Ujveski changed his mind, and rightly. Best thing that Keith Dublin has done in the match, that challenge. Spackman. For the challenge on David Speedy. Chelsea supporters still doing their bit, and so they should. Pates. Murphy. Gillespie. Murphy hounding and pushing. I think the point will be worth making that Chelsea supporters who don't have the greatest name because of a minority that dragged the name of the club down have good supporters too, as was shown then. Speedy. McMahon. Nickel. Good play. McAllister. Shielded it well. Tried to find Nijveski, in that he was inviting him to come out to the edge of the area. McAllister back available for this match after serving a suspension, having been sent off just across the park in Goodison Park. Speedy, lovely way to pass from him to Jury. Speedy, Rugby. Speedy's continuing the run, but Gillespie will get there first comfortably. And Speedy turns in despair. It's amazing how well David Speedy plays, considering he carries the world on his shoulders all the way through the 90 minutes. The whistle was gone, which is a little unfortunate. And Ian Rush complaining, but there was a definite delay. And it's the sort of thing from which the referee can never win. Gillespie is up. Rugby. Speedy and Hansen. Speedy hoping that Hansen would miss it. It was the one chance that Speedy had, probably. Spackman. McAllister. Rugby. Great climb. But a foul. All taken in good part. Challenged by Bumstead. Certainly there can be no questioning Chelsea's attitude. Offside against Walsh. The defence looks a little unbalanced on the left side, but they've battled for everything. And in terms of chances made, they may consider themselves somewhat unlucky to be a goal down, but it's a not unfamiliar story at Anfield. Liverpool tend to get goals when they need them. Nickel. Nickel and Rugby. McAllister. Bumstead. Venison. Great early ball from Rush. Lawrenson. Jim Beglin coming in. Field for handball. Bit of a stretch from Pates. Whelan. Only his goal. He's looking much more his old self this afternoon. He, like the rest of the Liverpool midfield, were very disappointing at Watford 8 days ago. Speedy. Spackman. Not what he intended. I think he was looking to go wide to McAllister. Handball by Murphy. Whelan. Jury and chase. Never looking likely to get the ball. Rugby, contrast in the stride of Rugby and Nickel then. Well, there's a gap for whence Rugby came. It's filled by McMahon.
We're now seeing the type of Liverpool performance that everyone expects. Very aggressive, positive running from midfield, good running off the ball from the forward players, and it's creating lots of problems at the back for Chelsea. Chelsea apparently still keeping together quite well, but there was a hint before that they may just break up a little bit. They were pressurised on all fronts, but at the moment there's still that goal behind, which psychologically, if they're going in half-time, is going to have an effect on them, I feel. But Liverpool now getting more and more into the stride, and every one of the players contributing a big amount of effort into this match.
McAllister, very little room for manoeuvre, was very confident to try. Chelsea ball on the right as we look. Members of the press on the left. Murphy. Bumstead's cross is not actually worthy of the name, sadly for him. Only team to win on this ground this season. Other, of course, than Liverpool, the only away team came from London. Tottenham won here, which is something they haven't done very often over the years, like Chelsea. Rush in chase, and the whistle has gone because there was an offside decision. Hansen left it to Beglin. Chelsea now pushing well forward. Beglin. Rather extraordinary face from Chelsea. But if he's going to knock the ball long, surely it'll be down the middle to the head of Jury rather than to the little fellow on the wide McAllister. Well, it goes to another little fellow who gets up better than most, David Speedy. Fell comfortably, in fact. Murphy. A little bit short of pace as he was trying to make something and found Whelan. Rush. Rush again. Nickel. Benison. Everybody other than Grobbelaar in the Chelsea half. Nickel from one side to the other. And a free kick against Ronnie Whelan. Frankman will have a little bruise to look at in the half-time interval. Just wasn't quite there as it broke away, and Whelan, committed to the challenge, caught the foot. Well held up. Jury, how can he use it? Got support to the right. McAllister, not a good pass. Put it on the deck, said Speedy. Or something to that end, anyway. Mr. Hackett will have just a little bit of stoppage time to allow. Seemed to indicate to the linesman, so Bobby Charlton tells me about a couple of minutes. Whelan, Walsh, McMahon on the edge of the box. Rush has got into the 6-yard area. Dublin gets it away. Murphy. Speedy and Hansen. Rugby. McAllister. Speckman. 3 up on the edge of the box for Chelsea. Benison covering. Walsh. Oh, beautifully done. Veski's proving to Grobbelaar that he's quite capable of coming that sort of range too. Oh dear. Stacked by Speedy. Rush. And still. Free kick against Rush. Also disapproval when Mr. Hackett was obviously right. Rush took Spackman's right ankle away. So just the one goal in the first half, scored by Ronnie Whelan. Really a superbly taken free kick.
Yes, a super free kick, and worthy actually of the occasion. Ronnie Whelan obviously has practiced that a lot. The wall was a little bit together, a little bit smaller, and he took the opportunity to knock it into the near post. I do sometimes feel, you know, that goalkeepers actually give a little bit too much responsibility to the wall and occasionally get themselves in trouble. But good Liverpool performance at the end of it all.
Well, we only got the one goal to show for that 45 minutes action there, but just in case there's a television in the dressing room and Wally Whelan's in there at the moment, let's have a look at that free kick again. I no doubt he's quite proud of it.
Oh yes, Wally Whelan!
And there was a point, of course, when Chelsea early on in that game might have taken the lead, and it really involved Kevin McAllister, young and inexperienced, and really on this early opportunity he was put away on the right there. I hope we can see in the picture an overlap on the right. Now there's a good position there, we can't quite see the player. There he comes, running up on the right hand side, and he might just have slipped him through, but instead, inexperience, a bit of lack of confidence, turned it inside and put in a pretty ineffective shot. But then, of course, he had an even better chance. I'm wondering myself whether you think this is offside. The moment the ball is played now, was he offside? No, probably played on, having had a second look there, which means that he's got an open Liverpool goal in front of him. You don't often find this situation at Anfield. Slows down a little bit, but look how well Gillespie does to time that tackle. Took advantage of his inexperience and a really perfectly timed tackle to save the day for Liverpool. Well, we'll have a look at, in a moment, Barry Venison. We were going to see a couple of things that he did in another direction. But before that, Trevor, a view from you on that first half.
Well, I think Chelsea must be disappointed because they've played very well. You never think that they were bottom of the table. I think possibly Kevin McAllister, it was unfortunate he actually got the chance because he isn't sort of happy in those situations. I think we didn't see in the second one when he was clean through. I think he was caught in two minds because Gordon Jury was looking at square, trying for the ball across the face of the goal, and he wasn't sure whether to play it square or hit the shot, and then he didn't do either, and Gillespie got back. And then, of course, the free kick. I mean, when you're struggling and things are going against you, all you need is a free kick like that. It was the perfect one, just cleared the wall, but it had pace on it as well. Sometimes, you know, you hit the wall when you hit it hard, and others you just don't actually get the power when you clear the wall.
We'll have another look at that free kick later, but for the moment, just to look at Barry Venison. He was involved in two incidents in the first half. Another kind of keenness, if you like, back in the team. Bump, he's gone through there. I don't honestly think he meant to play Jerry Murphy with that tackle. It was enthusiasm, getting back in the side, wanting to hold on to a Liverpool place, and then later on you can see this header. Nobody here really wants to head into the back of a man's head. He went for the ball there and ended up heading Gordon Jury there, which was nasty. Over keenness, inexperience in one direction, and as we saw on Chelsea's side in the other. Right, now McLaughlin, it was a free kick, of course, that led to the goal, so it doesn't pay for anybody to give away too many free kicks, but Ian Rush, the danger man, I think, the one who puts fear into people and causes them to panic in this situation. Here it is, pulling the ball down, he goes straight forward, late tackle. All right, was that the right punishment? It turns out to be the right punishment because Ronnie Whelan steps up. Once upon a time, I did say his favourite foot was his left. Apologies. That convinces me and everybody else without doubt that his favourite foot is his right. Trevor?
No, it was a great goal. As I say, once it cleared the wall, you knew it was always going to be in because Eddie Nisvicki's the right side of the wall. He's got to cover that goal, hoping that the ball's not going to be cleared over it. But it was the perfect goal, really, and very unfortunate for Chelsea because they were then rocked on the heels for 5 or 10 minutes. But I don't think Liverpool have quite played as well as we always think they will. I think still in midfield they lack that little bit of subtlety without Molby.
Well, if you were chairman of Chelsea, I think you'd be reasonably pleased with that first half, because it's our opportunity now to talk to the forthright, outspoken chairman of Chelsea, Ken Bates, talking to Tony Gubber.
Ken Bates, with Chelsea bottom of the First Division, there's been almost unholy speculation about the security of manager John Hollins. Let's start by asking you, what's your opinion?
Hasn't changed, in spite of the disgraceful press campaign the last few weeks, culminating in that quite disgraceful telephone poll on Friday, which I helped to bugger up, by the way, by getting about 20 of my people to vote yes and no, just to prove that how easily it is to cook up any figures you like.
Just to explain for viewers who might not know, one national newspaper invited readers to phone in and say whether they thought John Hollins should keep his job or should not. However, how much pressure does it put you under when that sort of campaign is waged in a national newspaper?
Well, obviously it puts me under a great deal of pressure because I have to protect my manager even more. It doesn't put me under pressure to sack the man, it puts me under a great deal of pressure to sympathise with him and feel outraged about these jackals and vultures that are hovering over the man when he's trying to do a good job.
Sure. What's your explanation, though, Ken, for the situation in which Chelsea find themselves in?
We're not scoring enough goals and we're conceding too many.
But how...
Well, I mean, the people, you've got 8 million people, you tell me, if your figures are correct watching you today. You saw that. We're bottom of the league, Liverpool are near the top. But we've matched them in everything except for one free kick. In fact, there were 1 or 2 opportunities we could have put away before we went 1 goal down. But that's what happens when you're bottom of the league. But we are a good team, we have good players. We're without Kerry Dixon and Pat Nevin today. We're still matching them effort for effort and ball for ball.
John is one of the nicest men in football. How is he reacting to this speculation about his situation and his continued managership at Chelsea?
Well, he ignores the speculation because he knows I'm behind him. In fact, he and his wife on my birthday party last Sunday. I was dancing with Linda and actually said, look what she has to do to keep her husband's job. She doesn't have to dance with the chairman these days.
I don't want to be unkind, please don't misunderstand, but sometimes the vote of confidence from the chairman has been the worst thing in football, and that's been followed in the past by managers moving on shortly after.
I stand on my record, for example, John Neal. If I'd have bowed to similar pressure, in respect to John Neal, we wouldn't have built a second division championship team and got in the first division. John Hollins having a rough patch, and so are the players and so are the team. But by and large, there's nothing fundamentally wrong that a few wins won't put right. And nothing is certain in football, but I'm confident that we are better than where we are at the moment. And I think the 1987 will prove that.
Finally, what is your assessment of John Hollins as a manager?
I think he's going to run the greats. And that's why there's no way he's going to leave Chelsea because of this bad patch and do a great job for somebody else.
Sure. Ken, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure, thank you.
Ken Bates, never a man to mess around with words. Trevor, what do you think about that, the Chelsea performance in relation to getting a result today? I mean, you said the sort of things happen. You know, you're playing well, you get a goal against. Have they got it within them in what you've seen so far to come back?
Well, it's a shame that Kerry Dixon and Pat Nevin aren't out there because when I've seen her play well this season, those two have played well. And Pat Nevin in particular, although Kevin McAllister, who plays a similar role, has battled well, Pat Nevin's got that ability to take defenders on and get to the byline. What's happened so far, Chelsea have gone up until 2/3, and then that final ball, I mean, really they've not got a really good crossing for Jury and a Speedy. And unless they get the good crosses in, I can't see them getting back into it. It's really got to be a set piece or something.
They've made 6 goal attempts as against Liverpool's 4, so that's something to show for the first half apart from a goal. But they are playing 1 or 2 what I might call learners without being rude, and that's what Liverpool don't seem to have in their side.
No, I mean, let's be fair, it is a difficult place, Anfield, to come to and get a result when they're in their situation. I think there are a lot of pluses. I mean, the 2 centre-backs, I think McLaughlin and Pates, who did so well for them last season, and they've been paired together again today, have been excellent. Nigel Spackman in midfield is harassing and not letting Liverpool settle. Possibly if they lack something, which I mentioned with Liverpool as well, that little subtlety again in midfield, the final creative pass isn't there, and Speedy and Jury, who I think with good service are a good pair, even though Dixon isn't there, they're not quite getting the sort of service that they'll need to break through a Liverpool defence, which doesn't give much away.
In a nutshell, on 45 minutes, are Chelsea a relegation side or no?
Well, they're not. They're bottom of the table, so it says they are. But, I mean, I think coming up to the Christmas spell, when there's 5 games in 2 weeks, this sort of performance, if they can continue it in the second half, will give them a lot of confidence to approach those matches where there's 15 points for sides to pick up. It's very tight at the bottom, 2 or 3 wins, and 87 might not be so bad.
And would you put your money on Liverpool at this point for the Championship?
Oh, for the Championship, I don't know, actually.
I'm making it work for you, mate, this afternoon.
I thought you were going to say the game. But I think for the Championship, I've got my down. I think Today I would have preferred, with Jem Mulvey being out, that Kenny Dalglish picked himself, but he is always reluctant too. So I will say possibly not Liverpool, although you know, they're always going to be there or thereabouts.
Well, there they come. They've got the chance to prove it to us in the second half and change our minds. Liverpool coming out of their dressing room, 1 goal under their belt, which is not good news for Chelsea, but you never know in football. So let's find out what's going to happen with Bobby Charlton and Barry Davies.
Well, as we look at Chelsea coming out, let me tell you what's happening in 2 other matches around the country. Bristol Rovers 1, Newport County 1, and Port Vale 0, Chester City 0, both those matches in the Today League Division 3. And one other statistic I'd like to mention, and that is that David Speedie stands 5'7". The significance of that is that it was the ball going over David Speedie's head in the wall, which left John Hollins still smiling there, with Kenny Dalglish, left John Hollins' team on the wrong end of a 1-0 half-time score. Scorer Ronnie Whelan. And talking of people who score goals, I think we ought to mark the anniversary of one of our viewers, I'm sure, who will be watching as Liverpool are about to get the second half underway. Ted Drake, 51 years ago today, on December the 14th, 1935, that he scored all 7 goals for Arsenal at Aston Villa. And he, of course, was the manager of the Championship side for Chelsea in 1955. And what's more, he signed John Hollins. And Hollins' side in 1986 is 1 down to Liverpool. The scorer Ronnie Whelan in the 31st minute. Jerry. Spackman. Bates. Speedy. Sure he'd like more of the ball played up to him like that. Likes it to feet, or at least on the deck. Spackman. Jury. It's nicely done, but not that. Anfield's certainly full of noise this afternoon. Murphy. That shout came from Mr. Hackett. Played by Hansen. Bumstead. Ronnie Whelan was the player who got in the way. Lawrenson. Enough power on it, Dublin. Walsh. Hansen. Walsh. McAllister. And he ran himself into trouble. McLaughlin. Beglin. McMahon. That's the sort of range he likes, and Spackman clearly was well aware of that. Whelan. All by Speedy behind the ball for Chelsea. Dublin covered his man well. Chelsea pushed up right onto the halfway line, so Spackman had to keep control of the ball and holding on to the ball. And in the end overhit the pass. Unnecessary free kick given away by Joe McLaughlin. Rush and Pates together. Lawrenson has come up as well, number 4. Quite often Niedzwiecki starts to make the movement forward and then goes back. Seems just to be his style. Whelan. That's useful. Walsh, but the flag is up for offside. Speedy and Jury, the 3 forward for Chelsea. Great climb again, but he's got several inches to make on Alan Hansen, who's a 6-footer. Dublin is committed, and in fact it's quite comfortable for him in the end. But Dublin came into the side when Chelsea were knocked out of the Littlewoods Cup by Cardiff, but has kept his place since. 5 minutes of the second half gone. Liverpool attacking the Kop end, which is the way they like to play in the second half. It's Niedzwiecki in trouble, and the Baron spell ends. Nichols cross, and you know who scores. And you know what that means, and I'm not going to tell you any more than that because it's becoming the most boring statistic in football. But what a good cross. Niedzwiecki was in trouble at that moment, and up rose Rush, and that's 2-0 Liverpool, and his 22nd of the season. Just look where Niedzwiecki is now. He's never going to reach the cross, and Rush climbed so well. Walsh, what a save. Beglin. Jury. Pates. Well done. Well, John Hollins would be less than human if he didn't fear a walloping at this moment. And the crowd, meantime, cry champions. And really, one has to say that they've taken 2 chances quite superbly.
Yes, Ian Rush, what a finisher. No wonder that the Italians are after him, prepared to spend so much money, and he'd be a great miss certainly to our game here. But Chelsea, they might show a little bit of character now, they'll have to. It's a case of they maybe collapse altogether if they don't hold themselves together. But I must admit that the thing that actually made that goal was a fantastic left wing cross, absolutely superb, which pulled the goalkeeper away from the line and created the chance for Ian Rush.
And of course, that, we remind you, came from Steve Nicol. Oh, this is Paul Walsh, and this is Ian Rush, but that's Niedzwiecki's. Ian Rush last Saturday played his 300th first team match for Liverpool, his 200th in the league. His total goals now stand at 189. Jury. Not too many to beat. McMahon. Waits. Anderson got up from that challenge, feeling his ankle a bit. Oh. Well, Speedy was holding the ball between his ankles. McMahon went to challenge for it. Both things quite legitimate. But the short flues showed again. And he is, I regret to say, rather too quick to react with arms or fists in the air.
A little frustration from David Speedy there. His team are in trouble, and every little battle that they have to fight on this field now, they feel is a losing one. A little frustration, that's all. Fortunately, he didn't hit him.
Tremendous distance with the left hook. Guess it was more of a jab, I suppose. I'm not an expert in these things. Rugby. Jury again. The ball was up. Foul by Rugby. Challenging from behind. Offside against Rush. Bumstead, Spackman, McAllister. Offside. Gordon Jury. Came to Chelsea from Hibernian. Chelsea reaction to the comments from the cop. Murphy. Cover by Hansen because John Bumstead was behind. Medicine. Blackman. Certainly the Chelsea supporters are making themselves heard. And the team still battling away. Dury. Fine header away by Hansen. Murphy. Foul by Lawrenson, which I think the Scotsman made sure he got, but even so was a foul. And this is a very, very similar position from which Ronnie Whelan scored in the first half. Just slightly further away, I suggest. Four-man wall. Well, the fact that Dury has taken a position on the left would allow Murphy to try and curl it around with his left. Goes for the header, which he doesn't find. McAllister struck it well, but straight a double up. One note being held at one end of the ground and a constant Chelsea at the other. And I suppose they'll be trying to keep it up for another half an hour. That's the position as we reach the hour in the match. 2-0 to Liverpool. Good return, Jim Beglin. Lovely turn by Rush. McMahon never had any doubt in his mind that he was going to go for goal. Good save by Davies. There's a player to his right, and he was going to have a strike with Steve McMahon, and it was palmed away for the corner. Walsh, Whelan, Rush made it his. Lawrenson just flashed at it. Spackman, chance. Beglin got in the way. There was a 4-1 break then for a moment. It's a fine ball by Venison to Nicol, who supplied the cross for goal number 2. Walsh. Corner. Gillespie off the line by Murphy. Tremendous Liverpool pressure, which will come to an end. Free kick for the challenge on Murphy, who was the player who just cleared off the line. Did it with great aplomb. Nicol's corner. Flick came from Gillespie, and Davies seemed to see it late and just poked away. McMahon, the crowd want him to have a go again, but by no means the quality of the previous one, Bobby.
Yeah, poor old Chelsea on the rack at the moment, but Steve McMahon, when he had that shot, it was spot on, right in the corner, exactly as he wanted to hit it, where he hit it, and Eddie Niedzwiecki actually made a fantastic save. I must say, this is one of the best saves you could ever wish to see. He was at full stretch, and really, I think the people behind Liverpool thought they'd got number 3 behind the goals there.
Rush, lot of space for Whelan. 4 waiting in the middle. Venison. Bumstead. McAllister. It's too long. Walsh. McMahon. That's a fine ball to Walsh. No, he's offside. It's a pity because, again, the crowd wanted McMahon to have a go, but he's a far too intelligent a player to have tried to go through the ruck of players. And the substitution going to be made by Chelsea. Going to be McAllister who comes off and Wood who comes on. Free kick to Liverpool. McAllister, who I'm sure will look back and with a lot of thought about the chance he had in the first half. He's played his part in this one. And on comes Darren Wood, former captain of England schoolboys. He's becoming a regular substitute these days. Normally a defender. So he's gone to play wide on the right at the moment, but just to see how often he can get forward. Benison. Rush.
When Liverpool play like this, it's really something to see. Everyone wants the ball. They seem to have more players on the field than they should be allowed. But they all support one another. Good, close control. And very, very desperate it's making the situation for poor old Chelsea defenders. They're having to run around a lot now and very, very much stretched.
Walsh. McMahon. Strong challenge by McLaughlin. And in the end, I think it was the shoulder that made contact with the face of McMahon. McLaughlin. The news as Keith Hackett lets play go on, and McMahon tries to clear his head. Finally the whistle has been blown, and it gives me a chance to give you news of the happy return of football to Valley Parade in Bradford following the disastrous fire. 15,000 people turned up there today to see the home side beat Bobby Robson's England 11 by 2-1. And I think all of football will say welcome back to Bradford in their own ground. And McMahon clears his head. As we look again at what happened, yes, it was an elbow that did the damage. But he's okay now. And Bobby Charlton, with a smile on his face, says to me, it's a man's game. How right he is. He should have been a good enough man to play it at this level. Murphy's the injured party now. And halfway through the second half. And Chelsea, by no means folding their tents and slinking away. Should be McLaughlin's. Oh dear. An indication perhaps of the pressure that you feel under if the man breathing down your neck is called Ian Rush. Benison. McLaughlin gets it away. Gillespie. Oh. Lawrenson. Whelan. Dublin should have got it away. Lawrenson. And he blocked it off in the end. Venison. McMahon. Spackman. Speedy. Now with a bandage around the left ankle, left knee rather. Something the matter with the anatomy. Just needed the snow for the Christmas card. McMahon. Beglin. Walsh. Spackman. Chase for Speedy. Had to take it first time as it came down. Pates. Rugby. Dublin. Pates. Armstead. All determination. The man whose goal really dictated the start of the game, Ronnie Whelan. Rugby. Oh dear. Well, let's put it this way, he would never race in a derby. McMahon. Beglin. Walsh. Had a good game, Paul Walsh. There was a feeling that at times he wanted to do too much on his own, but seems to be developing the moment of knowing when to get rid of the ball and having a lot of skill on it. Lawrenson, Whelan. McMahon. Oh dear. It's pretty hard to be a Chelsea player at the moment. But now Speedy. The player's on the right, but he's being forced all over the place. Dublin. Jury. Good to see Alan Hansen coming forward, and he's still available in the inside left position. Oh yes, Gillespie to Nicoll.
Available is the right word that you just used there, Barry. The Liverpool players always seem to have one or two men available to pass to when they have the ball. And poor little David Speedy there, when he picked the ball up, he was forced backwards all the time. Not because he was just being pressured, but because there was no one there that really was supporting him. That's the difference between the two sides, when one seemed completely confident and the other in a little bit of disarray.
Murphy. Chelsea backline, the Liverpool backline were moving forward, and the Chelsea players had no chance of collecting the through ball. Into the last quarter of an hour of a contest whose outcome is surely set, but an interesting thing, if Liverpool could manage to get a third, it would be the century of goals scored against Chelsea here at Anfield over the years. Played 44 matches since season 1907-1908. Chelsea have only won 4 of them. Spackman. Just too soon, but it was tight. McMahon. Beglin. Alan Hansen. Scored Liverpool's goal on Tuesday night in Dubai. Hasn't done that too often. His last league goal was in May '84. Rush thought that he might be in for one then, but the back header from Walsh going slightly astray. There's the Liverpool skipper. Beglin. Nicol. And still. Rush in the middle, Whelan on the near side as we look. Nicol. Oh, I say, what a classic goal! Well, Nijveski picks himself up from the back of the net. He had to make so much ground as Nicol came across. There were 2 possibilities of a pass on for him. Nijveski was well forward and he chipped the ball over his head so sweetly to find the back rigging.
What a fantastic goal. I was just actually thinking that Paul Walsh is having a really good game, but Steve Nicol, who has had a particularly good match on that side of the field, actually just scored the type of goal that you would dream about. I mean, everything went right for him. The players were all caught on their heels. He had a good look up, saw the goalkeeper just a yard or 2 off the line, but that was enough for him to make the decision, and a brilliant goal was the result.
3-0 to Liverpool, and the century achieved. And if you're going to score a goal which decides the century, you couldn't ask for much better than that. All 3 goals have been very different, but all really quite classic. The free kick from Whelan, the header from Rush, the finish from Nicol with the chip. Murphy. Whelan, it bounced a bit kindly for him. Rush is offside. McMahon. Determination from Benison. The linesman shook his head when the referee looked at him, but there was a moment when the ball was handled then, but it had to be intentional, of course. Whelan, McMahon, Beglin, Nicol on the left, everybody else the other way. Rush, oh, he's made the gap. Didn't really find the shot worthy of note. 10 minutes left. Gillespie. Colin Bates. Gillespie. Well done by Bates to get a bit of that, but then not the challenge. He won a bit of it in the air, but then instead of waiting, just played through Rush. To have had an elasticated leg to get round there, but he was trying to go around the outside. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Rush none the worse for wear. Bates. Gillespie. Rush. Speedy. Play on, says the referee. Lawrenson. Offside decision against John Bumstead. And the roar is for Kenny. Kenny Davies coming on to replace Paul Walsh. And listen to the reception he's getting. And the player manager, whose goal at Stamford Bridge at the end of last season decided the championship, comes on to play a few minutes. And here's Lawrenson. Rush. Somehow Joe McLaughlin denied him. Seemed to be so much room and time, and McLaughlin got his foot in to deny Rush. McMahon. Davies. Oh! Right, went for the goal kick. Kenny Davies has started in 10 matches this season. 6 have been won and 2 drawn and 2 lost. Occasional substitute appearance. But it's interesting to speculate whether the championship last season would have been won earlier had Davies the manager played Davies the player more often. The team was only beaten once all season when he started the match, and that was when he was injured at Newcastle. Wood to Rugby to nobody.
Well, completely superior Liverpool now. A little bit of trepidation for me. It's our team that have to come and play them here on Boxing Day, but I've no doubt Alex Ferguson will have had a close look at them and act accordingly. But what a tremendous arena to have a really top-class football match. I'm sure the people that have watched today have enjoyed it, even though the match might have been slightly one-sided.
Well, now I know why you've been writing all those notes. Lawrenson. Davies. Pates upside him. Five minutes remaining, and it probably won't be enough for Kenny Dalglish. Having got on, he's immediately got the taste for it. Hansen. Venison. Kick against Colin Pates. McMahon. Climb again by Speedy, but Hansen didn't take his eye off the ball for a second. McLaughlin. Nickel. Free kick against Rugby. Scott against Scott. Here's Gillespie. So much power in it, but it doesn't go. Really tanked that, and it's spun away from Nidveski. Took it seemed an eternity to get up, but the ball did not cross. Just couldn't regain his balance, the goalkeeper, but he did just in time. Dury, Speedy, unlucky. Nice sportsmanship. Good early ball. It's a question of getting there first and sticking out the foot. And Speedy got there first, but couldn't change the angle of the movement of the ball. Hansen. McMahon. Beglin. Corner. And just, I suspect, a little nudge from Nickel. Lawrenson. Rush is waiting in the middle. Here he goes. I think Chelsea are deserving of great credit the way they've stuck to it. It's a result that most people would have expected. And it would, I think, be rather foolish to start saying that it adds to the crisis, because few would have expected Chelsea to win here, even if they were far higher up the table. Not too many come away from Anfield with 3 points. Now in the last minutes, and here's Ronnie Whelan. And Spackman showed great pace to get goal side of him. Hansen. Venison. Hansen. At the hole while Whelan got back to an onside position, and here's Hansen. Litvesky very quickly off his line. Whelan, Lawrenson, Mr. Hackett has one look at his watch. Nothing it is. For half an hour we wondered. But once Ronnie Whelan scored, the die was cast, and Liverpool offered us three real gems. Beautiful goals, Whelan getting the first, Rush getting the second, and Kenny Dalglish's side coming off quite comfortably the victors, with Nicol getting the third goal, and a brilliant goal it was too, the 100th against Chelsea on this ground in league football.
Well, not quite the frenzied excitement of last week, but a brave fight by Chelsea and three classical goals of their kind from Liverpool. I think it's time to have a look at those three goals again.
Oh yes, Ronnie Whelan! Liverpool attacking the clock end. This is the way they like to play in the second half. It's Litvesky in trouble! And the Baron spell ends. Nicol's cross, and you know who scores. Nicol. And still. Rush in the middle, Whelan on the near side as we look. Nicol. Oh, I say, what a classic goal!
No argument about that result at the end. Now, you've got the right team this week, Trev, but, I mean, you've got the score wrong again. I mean, it won't do.
No, they're three great goals. I mean, give credit to Liverpool. Probably Ian Rush's second goal clinched it. From then on, they turned the screw, and really Chelsea battled to the end. But Liverpool very impressive from then on.
Which players took your eye?
Well, I think generally, I mean, Ian Rush's second goal was superb. We all know what a great player he is. Stevie Nicol did well, didn't he, on the left-hand side? And Ronnie Whelan, when I saw them struggle at Watford last week, they played at the other side to that. But certainly from then on, they really charged forward. And Chelsea, though, I think their disappointment, I'm sure, now sitting in the dressing room. But if they can just transfer the spirit that they had today and then perhaps get some form at Stamford Bridge. When you're in the situation that they are, they've only won one game out of 9 at home, and you've got to pick up points at home.
In other words, as a manager, you wouldn't have been disappointed with what the Chelsea team gave today on that pitch, although they lost 3-0.
No, I mean, the second half must have seemed an eternity once that second goal went in. But there was a lot of good things. Certainly, what I think possibly as players, you want to be ahead in a game. At the moment, they can't probably remember the last time they were ahead in a match. And once, of course, Liverpool get 2 goals up, then there's no stopping them.
And they did obviously have the opportunities to get ahead early on, so there is some creativity there to work on.
Yes, and you've got Kerry Dixon and Pat Nevin to come back into the side and help in that area. And I think, they'll definitely be an asset in these Christmas games that are coming up.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the league tables at the moment and see where that puts Liverpool. I would reckon that's in third place, yes, according to my reckoning, and it is. The battle's still going on at the top there, Trevor. Arsenal holding on.
They're doing great, aren't they? They're just not conceding any goals. And Nottingham Forest, entertaining as ever, although they lost yesterday, still playing very well as well.
And the good thing, of course, Luton Town and Norwich City keeping the race. I mean, they're the ones in a strange way that those of us who look upon football as a sort of game that belongs to the whole nation are pleased about.
That's right, all that chasing pack. It's a funny season, actually. They're all getting a good position and then lose a silly game. And so the Christmas games will be very interesting come the new year, I think.
A couple of results coming up this afternoon. First of all, Bristol Rovers 2, Newport County 2. That's in today League Division 3. And as you can see, Port Vale 2, Chester City 1. So there you are. That's all from us really for today, except perhaps from Trevor and I to wish you a happy Christmas, and I'm sure that they're happy out there on the terraces. So it's all from Anfield, but perhaps a reminder of the sports programmes coming up. There's some show jumping from Olympia on BBC One at 5:35, Ski Sunday, BBC Two at 5:50. Then the review of the year. I wouldn't miss that one tonight at 7:15. We'll find out who the sportswoman of the year are. We'll be back after Christmas with Spurs v Arsenal, which gives me the chance on behalf of the entire Match of the Day team. That's those seen and unseen. The cameraman who got that very special shot this afternoon of that clearance off the goal line, from him, all the team, to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. And to Ian Rush particularly, sadly, because it's his last Christmas in England for a year or two, and I can assure you we shall miss him. Maybe Chelsea won't. Good afternoon.
Liverpool attacking the Kop end. Just the way they like to play in the second half. It's Besky in trouble!
You know, it was a good year.
Was it?
1926.
Oh, 1926. Oh,
it was a good year. Yeah. And this year, I suppose it was a good year for golf. Was it a good year for golf?
Well, not, a bit in and out, but
athletics.
Athletics.
And 8 golds in the old.
8 golds in Stuttgart.
That's right.
Yeah, wonderful, isn't it? Watching old Fatima Whitbread putting in a big one. You know what I mean? And
she can do that.
Oh,
she?
Fantastic! And of course, and as ever, old Cram and Ovid and Co.
taking it in turns.
Yeah, to